That's when you're offensive manner counting. Then you become very aggressive. Then the auditee will build up a defense mechanism. So then it's not healthy. So your purpose is to find the facts. Show me the facts.
Is that a problem here?
Right?
Do you think? Is that really a problem here? Really?
I've been audited by a couple of different people. I don't, no one here, so you can all be at ease. But they come in and they go, like I said before, reversing the situation, they had a problem with my department, they come in and they go, right, so I'm auditing this and this is the problem. And I go, no, you're supposed to be just asking questions. And they said, no, well, here's an example, it always goes wrong, here's a problem, non-conformance. And I just go, this is not an audit, this is garbage. So it happens, yes. And it's happened more than once. It's happened. And it's not because, like, if they have a problem, it should be resolved before the audit, well and truly separate.
I was going to ask that before, if in the auditor's initial or preliminary review of the processes that we're to be auditing, that there are things like really kind of superficial things missing, like no KPIs, I don't know, just really high level things that are clearly going to cause issues. Instead of talking through the whole thing, is it more meaningful to give the person who's responsible for the procedure an opportunity to correct it before we audit it? Because if we're just going to come up with the things that should be corrected anyway, it's really a bit of a waste of time.
Yeah, it doesn't get audited properly.
Because, we're only checking for things that should really be, the process shouldn't be uploaded onto our system if there are those very clear gaps.
That's inversely, it could be the fact that the measures are there, but the measures aren't written in the procedure. So unless you go and actually have a look and understand.
Or if the manager just makes sure it's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like we could really be spending a lot of time making some significant improvements, but...
This point is quite
Which one,
important.
Alex? Where's your finger?
You can see there's a red dot, but it's very small.
Right.
And now.
Yeah.
So come to agreement with the auditee on the audit agenda and the desired outcomes and results. A lot of time when you prepare for the audit, you review through the procedures and you already know what is the outcome. You already know. Basically, you look at the procedure. You don't have this. You don't have that. Basically, or when you look at procedures, you straight away can spot this is not right. This is not right. This is not right. This is not right. Okay, so facts are sacred, so look for facts. This is an example of the audit plan that we received from third-party audit EQS. There is an audit criteria. Okay. Customer-specific requirements is always there. So this is something that we need to be mindful of. In addition to TS 16949, customer-specific requirements, we have to look at that as well. Okay.
And they're all saved in a neat little folder somewhere for us to check.
Yeah.
Just
In the video.
volumes of them.
And you can see from here there are audit objectives. What are the objectives they want to achieve? So it is all written down here. A lot about compliance, conformance and compliance to TS requirements. And this is the audit plan like this. In a simple audit, you just audit one procedure. You can just make an appointment with the auditee. What is the day and the time, and there's a location. If you're auditing a big procedure and involves 2 or 3 people and one procedure, 3 auditors, and there may be 3 auditees, because this procedure may cross over a few departments, and you may need to have an audit agenda and plan like this. The time, the subject, reference, what it is, who is going to participate, who is the lead auditor, who is the co-auditor, who is the observer, if you're an observer. So basically lead auditor and co-auditor, if you are the you only have one person, then you're the lead auditor. It's just an example. What is the definition of the audit? It is a systematic, independent, and documented process for obtaining audit evidence and evaluating it objectively to determine the extent to which audit criteria are fulfilled. So this is a definition of, based on ISO 9001, which is a TS 96149. Third-party auditors, when they come, they must comply to this. They need to assess to what extent it has been fulfilled, which is basically a compliance, conformance kind of audit. Auditing is about assessing conformity with specified criteria by means of verification, validation, communication, not direction. As I mentioned before, there are auditors who give you must do this, you must do this. That's not required. It's not necessary.
But suggestions?
Right?
Not what we're saying is with internal audit, we're also looking for improvements. So that's
You can capture that.
not direction, but how about this? It's more about the approach, isn't it?
You can actually, later on we will cover off at the exit meeting. It's best for you to have a post-audit review with the auditee, and if possible, if there are some issues, serious issues you need to raise, involve the department managers as well. You know, when you do the post-review, that is when you raise that. You know, because you can ask the question: Is what you're doing now good enough? Is it? If what you're not doing having an impact on the business and the customers? If
there's any change to the procedure, the person who's responsible for the procedure, if they're not the auditee, then they should be involved in it, in the corrections or any amendments anyway, yeah?
Best to include them. Okay, a lot of us know about criteria. What is criteria? Criteria are requirements. What are the requirements? TS standard is a requirement. Customer specific requirements is a requirement. Product requirements, there is also a requirement. Process requirements. That's why I mentioned just now, you've got TS require us to do 3 types of audit: system, process, and product. Organizations have their own identified requirements as well, and to provide effective planning, operation, and control of the processes. So you are actually auditing against the criteria. So before you go and audit, have to think what are the criteria that you want to audit against. Okay, we are making good time. Session 4, audit objectives. There are many objectives, but the key ones are conformity, especially third-party audit conformity, effectiveness. I'll give you one example. Any customer complaints, any NCRs that you raise in a company, it is a violation of TS requirements, which means something has escaped. So when you have an NCR, in our NCR we don't even say, okay, which TS clause that we have violated against, and this TS clause is reflected in which procedure. We don't even say that. We should. Then with the NCRs we raise, then which procedure we need to look at. When you audit that procedure, then you know, hey, this has got a pass record. So,
is that an idea then to add it to the procedure template? That these specific tasks actually relate to these TS requirements, so we know?
Probably. So
is it only like major non-conformance we do an NCR report for?
at this stage, the format of the audit report is when it is a major or minor, it is recorded on that.
Yeah, but then we put it says like is it raise corrective action reports or non-conformance and NCR. Is it only for a major?
And that's not up to us, I think that's quality, isn't it?
No, the audit raise, I'll cover it off afterwards. Improvement. This will identify opportunities which will have a positive impact on the customer satisfaction and business results. Because ultimately, we want very good business results. The organization that is very efficient, less waste, will give you very good business results. TS talks about reducing waste, reducing a lot of waste, being very lean, that is TS. And promote customer satisfaction, improving sales, that's part of TS. Okay, I think I've covered this off just now. First party audit, second party audit, third party audit. Okay, continual improvement. TS 16949, clause 8.5.1, specify continuous improvement, and you will find that all these clauses in TS are the engines for continual improvement. What is the difference between continuous improvement and continual improvement? Continuous improvement.
Can I answer that? Confusion.
Okay.
I hate the fact that you use two words that are almost exactly the same.
English is not my first language.
I mean, it's not your fault. I think the quality world, and you can provide your feedback to the quality world, verification and validation, and continual and continuous are four words that should be separated into four different words with different starting letters that are clearly different. And I speak English as my first language, and I'm confused.
Okay.
So I'm sure afterwards.
Alex is going to help you out.
I mean, to me, it's the same. When you translate into my language, they're the same word. So. Okay, they're the same word. 持续改善嘛。持续改善, it's the same. So, when we ask our suppliers to have the corrective action on one of the issues, they always come back and say, we will train our operators. We will give them training. So, TS or people in the quality world define that as continuous improvement. If you just conduct a classroom training like this, then the operator goes back into their own world and do the same thing again. Then it is just trying to be continuously improved, but it may not continually improve, because if, like how I train my dog, if there is no correction of behavior of yes and no, right, to correct all the bad habits that is contributing to the defect of the product, then it is not a continual improvement. And even if you have corrected the behavior and then you fall back, that is not continual improvement. So that's why Shijo Shingo, the guru of Okayoke, foolproof, he introduced foolproof into every process. Every process, if any defect must be contained with the process, must not be passed on to the next process. Shijo Shingo implemented, once you finish this process, it has to be automatically checked, and if it is not, if the product is non-compliant, it cannot go to the next process. So that is called continual improvement. It's not training of operators relying on operators' awareness, to look at these two lights, the green light and the red light. Green light, pass it through. A red light, don't pass it through. If you rely on operator, it's not that reliable. That's what it means. We'll continue. Session 4, effective communications. Very, very important in communication is listening. And I must say, especially men needs to learn to listen more, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm not getting involved in this.
Not commenting.
My wife told me something, then a few months later, I told my wife, hey, this. She said, I told you this 4 months ago. Really? So it showed that I wasn't listening. So,
Was that a great idea of yours?
right? No, it shows that we need to learn to listen, especially when we are doing auditing. We have a lot of these questions in our brain, especially for men. When we have this brain telling us something or we're processing something, we cannot hear anyone talking to us. It's just one voice. Or when we're watching TV, anyone talking to us, we can't hear. If we want to hear, I got to switch off the sound of the TV, only one sound at a time. I can't handle two sounds at a time. Why are you laughing, Shay?
I think it's very funny.
It's true. I mean, for me, it's true
It's
for
true.
me. It's true for me. I cannot handle two sounds at a time. But for a lot of ladies, they can handle. Like sometimes when I'm driving, don't talk to me. And I'm not capable of handling so many conversations. Right? But we have to learn to listen. Listening is very different from hearing. Okay, the next thing is interviewing skills. It is very, very important when you do interviewing at the auditee, you ask the right questions and let the auditee to give you all the answers. How to do that? You ask open-ended questions. You don't ask questions like, have you done this? Have you not done that? Yes or no? That is closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questions are basically for interrogation. So auditors are not there to interrogate. So, did I put that in? Should I put that in? Leading questions are also to be awarded. You have to award leading questions. What else? So, remove any feeling of conflict or confrontation. So, if you are into confrontation, then auditee will become very defensive. When auditee is defensive, you tend to be offensive. Probing is very good. Using 5W and 1H, what, where, who, when, why, and how. Back in Malaysia, when we had this training, the trainer in Malaysia, you can do it, we can't do it here probably. In Malaysia, Muslims, you can have 4 wives, and then the trainer was joking, 1 husband, 5 wives. So that helps us to remember. Right. The 5W and 1H. So always use show me.
Funny, Rob.
So in Malaysia, you can officially have 4 wives, 1 husband, 4 wives. This is 1 husband, 5 wives. Show me, always show me.
We're trying to increase the staff retention here, Alex, not keep everyone on his.
To go overseas.
Why would you want 4 or 5 wives?
1 is too many, is it?
Yeah.
Auditors' very good friends is show me, right? Because you're looking for facts. You're looking for auditors giving you something. Explain to me, even though you have read the procedure, you have understood the procedures, and you go and auditing, explain to me, show me, how does it work? What is the scope? Explain to me your job, explain to me your responsibilities, explain to me how you fit in here, explain to me this process, because you're the owner of this process. Okay? There's a caution here. Care should be taken when asking a question beginning with why. So, because why, if it is not properly, the question using why not properly structured, it may imply criticism or disapproval. So, the auditee may find that you're trying to find fault with them, or try to attack them. Why? Why we need like this? It's very intimidating. So probing is acceptable, interrogation is not. So when you ask a lot of close-ended questions, yes or no kind of answer, it's a lot of interrogation. And we have to be courteous as well. Now, I mentioned about body language, active listening is all about maintaining eye contact. One person at Lumen who keeps very, very good eye contact when you speak to the person is Carrie Lee. When you're having a conversation with Carrie Lee, she just looks at you, the eye contact is fantastic. It shows a lot of respect. It shows that she's paying attention to you. You don't notice that? Keep an open posture as well. Stay alert and maintain your concentration at all times. When auditees are giving you information, don't do like what Homer Simpsons do, you know, so you just fade off and then think blah, blah, blah. You know? Would you please repeat? So you have to pay attention at all times. Yes. Demonstrate active listening. Make positive signs to indicate that to auditee that you're listening. When you are doing face-to-face audit or interview, it is very easy for the auditee to recognize that whether you're actually listening or not listening. But when you're on the phone, sometimes you do audit on some. If you're on the phone, then to acknowledge that you're listening, you say, I'm listening.
Okay.
You can take notes, but not excessive. A lot of auditors over time, when you develop the skill, you tend to remember the stuff. You can take notes, but put only the keywords, points, keywords, because a lot of note taking, writing down the whole sentence will disrupt the next questioning patterns. Very disruptive. And also when you're taking a lot of notes, also disruptive to the auditee. Observe the auditee, watch the body language, and listen carefully to the voice. If you ask for a piece of evidence, in a general rule of thumb, it takes more than 5 minutes. It's as good as gone. You can take further from there. Okay? So when I go and audit suppliers, if I ask for a piece of evidence, show me the incoming inspection report for this item. She dig and dig and dig and dig and dig, and then she can't find it. She said, hey, maybe it's kept this way. We have found it somewhere. She actually asking for someone else to generate the reports in another department. We'll give it to you in 10 minutes time. Or, you know. So your suspicion is there. That is not. Then we can ask for more evidence of this particular record. Show me this record. Show me this record. As a serial evidence. Okay, we have covered off conduct and auditing and questioning techniques, the definition of the auditing criteria, audit objectives, types of audit, 3 types of audits, continuous improvement, effective communication, interviewing skills, and active listening. Okay.
Can I ask the excuse for a second?
Sure.
In order to remember.
Yeah, can we,
Couple minutes, yeah.
Any questions? Any questions? Some of this training presentation material is a combination of experience that are put in there, and some from hopefully it helps.
Some of the audits that are occurring at the moment, are they scheduled in? So we have a list of the procedures that are currently at Lumen. Is there a schedule then dictating when this audit needs to be taking place and who will be performing the audit?
Yeah.
And so the ones that we're doing today, they've already been notified by
Yes.
Manduri?
Yes, auditees have been notified. That's why we try to keep to the time, so.
Because they're expecting us to.
Correct. So there is a schedule in here that you should go in the it's teams of two. Team must be in front of you, 2 by 2.
Yep.
So yeah, that's okay.
So on your timing here though, you've got from 3 to 4:15 is the first one, and then from 4:15 to 4:40 is the second one. So one goes for an hour and 15, and one goes for.
No,
Or is it different?
No, 3 to 3:30, 3:30 to 4 o'clock. Half an hour each session.
And one of them you would be the auditor. And the other one
Half an hour.
observer.
Should we say 3:30?
You started something, Shay.
Sorry, I just couldn't sit there any longer. Someone was ready to drink a litre of water.
Alex, I don't see that many of the audits that come in, but I don't think do we get much in the way of evidence with the audit. If you're asking about the KPI, do we get a copy of that?
You should.
Well, the first one that you said was a good report, Aga's one, had what the KPIs were, but didn't have the results.
Yeah, what I'm saying is if you
We should be asking for the results.
yeah, well, that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily be the audit report. You could just say, okay, well, give me a copy of your KPI graph.
Or you just need
This
to
month.
view it, yeah,
You can either note that you viewed it, or you can say, well, can I have a copy? I'll put
yeah,
it together with the package of the audit.
yeah.
This is what I'm going to cover next.
What we
Yeah.
do now.
Yeah.
That. I don't think this is enough time to do that. Half an hour is not enough time to do an audit.
Correct. Yeah. So you have to complete it. Half an hour is not enough, but it's enough for you to exercise what you learn, so that the observer will observe what you have learned, you have at least be able to apply.
I don't have an
Or whether we
observer.
were just good at it.
Right?
I don't have an observer because Tony Console's not here.
Jeremy, you
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're in place of
Sorry.
Tony.
So half an hour each person. But if you, half an hour each person, if you cannot finish the audit, that's fine, then you have to schedule another time, or you will have to schedule another time to complete the audit exercise. So then that will be hand up to me as part of the assessment evaluation. The audit report consists of 50%. The observation sheet is 20%, and then when we come back later on, we will have a written assessment that is 30%.
I think because the process of being given being PCRs is still currently under review and like has been raised as a work in progress with the continuous improvement committee, and that it would be beneficial for Mark to be involved in this as the manager of the process to understand, you know,
The all procedures are work in progress. It is always evolving, so you want to be based on.
yeah, but that one specifically has been raised as something that's been well, and under review through a program with the Continuous Improvement Committee, right? So this has been released, but it's been recognised that there's already more work being done on this. So I'm just being mindful of not wasting time going over things that may have already been